Good morning, everyone. This is Royce coming back at you with yet another frozen pizza review. And today on the docket, we're kicking it, not old school, but we're kicking it stereotypical with Tony's. Now, I almost convinced myself that this was some kind of case of Mandela effect because I forgot. I vaguely remember this being a brand of pizza, but I'm like, no, that's too. Like, they wouldn't just call a pizza brand Tony's. That's dumb. Well, truth is stranger than fiction, my friends. I literally restarted a recording because I was worried how racist it would sound to be like, oh yeah, that one pizza brand, Tony's. Vindication, thy name is Royce. And this is a weird one. Like, normally I don't bring in the pizza box. Because, like, all this is the instructions. I mean, heck, some pizzas don't even have pizza box anymore. It's just a cardboard or disc under the pizza wrapped in plastic. But no, this one is weird because it's got a children's activity section on the back. Tony's Kitchen Conundrum. Tony is in trouble. Someone has hidden everything he needs to make his delicious pizza. Can you help Tony find all the following items hidden in his kitchen? Cookbook, pepperoni, pizza pan, oven mitt, real mozzarella cheese, pizza cutter, tomato, and a wooden spoon. Turn that off for a little bit. Sorry. I need it on when I'm sleeping because, like, again, built like a walrus, I need a cool temp. Also, they totally redesigned Tony, but because I swear he looked more like Pasquale from Chuck E. Cheese, very stereotypical Italian man. But notice how, like, instead of like an exaggerated mustache, well, they kind of keep the mustache. Yeah, okay, they do keep the mustache. But instead of like a big honking mustache, they give him big honking eyebrows. Like, look at that. That's like some Millhouse eyebrow wiggle eyebrows. For those who are aware of GIF culture and know that one of the best eyebrow wiggle GIFs is of Millhouse from The Simpsons. Anyway, is there anything I need? Oh wow, and you can tell who they're directly competing with because it says 25% more pizza than Jack's original. I forget if I've done Jack's. Oh lord, my brain is a sieve. Serving size: 1/4 of a pizza. Calories: 330. Total fat: 18%. Cholesterol: 9%. Sodium: 28%. Wow. It's weird. I used to think you couldn't use salt in frozen products because they were I thought you couldn't use salt in frozen products because it would make them not as good. It would make them freeze poorly. Like, that's why you don't see actual buffalo sauce and stuff, is because vinegar melts ice. And vinegar is a key ingredient to buffalo sauce. That's why you don't see you don't see buffalo style wing, or you see buffalo style wings, not buffalo wings. Anyway, here's the pizza. Pizza, daddy-o. Oh, Lord. When I was a kid, I don't know if this was like across the nation or just specifically our little neck of the woods, but we had to study music that was orchestrated by this one composer named Teresa Jennings, and like she did. I think she was kind of like one of those. I think she was for music classes what like all those overpriced textbooks are for history and science and stuff. Where she just makes she makes new music books every year and cranks them out. She did have some bangers though. Jaws of the Jurassic, Pumpkin Jack, really good. Anyway, let's take a bite. Immediately one of the poorer crusts. The cheese is okay. The sauce is good. The pepperoni is really good, actually. And that might be the highest quality pepperoni we've had in this show. It's weird how, like, all the different pizzas focus on different things. Some focus on crust, some focus on sauce, some focus on cheese, some focus on toppings. Well, let's get, speaking of cheese, I'm not really seeing that real mozzarella. The crust is bready, but the crust is bready, but not like good bready. Again with again with frozen pizzas, it's better to focus on the thin crust, so you can add more cheese, add more toppings. This is gonna sound really strange, everyone, but this reminds me of Chuck E. Cheese pizza more than the frozen Chuck E. Cheese pizza did. I might have to get a Chuck E. Cheese pizza just to compare. The sauce is of decent quality. Like the sauce and pepperoni are where this thing's saving graces really are. Um, Again, I've always said I prefer sweeter sauce. This isn't very sweet, but it's got a nice mild tang to it that's, pleasant. It's not acidic. It's not overly sweet, which, oh man, that home run in pizza, that was overly sweet. I can still taste the cherry. It was like someone had dumped maraschino cherry juice in there. Like the syrup. And like, I baked this for the recommended time, but once again, you run into the issue of a slightly bready, underdone inside, and a slightly too crispy, overdone outside. Also, I just want to apologize for the video that went up today, Wednesday, April 3rd. I was sleep deprived and hopped up on caffeine. I shouldn't have been talking about weird stuff like that during a video about a meatball sub. No one's mentioned it yet that I've seen, but I worry that they will. You know, the weird things about me should be normal weird. Stuff that you tell at a glance. I'm fat. I'm a nerd. Not, Royce knows an awful lot about this weird episode of a cartoon show from the 90s that, I don't know. I've never even seen that episode. I was just thinking about it. And like, I forgot that I had went on that rant. Again, I barely remember that day. It turns out you can treat coffee like a drug. Because if you're tired and you're hopped up on caffeine, you enter sort of a not like blackout, but you reach a weird level of stasis. I will say to either this thing's benefit or deficit. bit of a kick. Not overwhelming, but like if you eat enough of the pepperoni, just a bit. Who makes this? I won't be surprised if it were Hormel because that does taste like Hormel pepperoni. Well, it doesn't really say here. I will say most like foods that you buy at the store are owned by like one of three companies, three or four. Um, like it is insane. It's just an Ouroboros of food. You can tell which ones usually together because they're always doing crossovers, like Mountain Dew and Doritos are both owned by Pepsi. As is Red Lobster. Hence the Dugarita. Weirdly, no one ever does weird Pepsi flavors. I'd love to see Pepsi Holiday Spikes make a comeback. Anyway, okay, I need to grade this. Alright. The crust is definitely the weakest part. I'll give it a 3. It's not the worst I've ever tasted, but it's pretty bad. The sauce is really good. Well, not like really, really good, but like it's definitely palatable. I'll give it a 7. The cheese is sparse but okay. I'll give that a 5. And then the pepperoni, again, really good. I'll give that a 9. So let's see. 3 plus 7 is 10. Plus 5 is 15. Plus 9 is 24. Divide 4, that's about a 6. And that's not a bad score. Like, that's about what I would have put this at if I had to grade it overall. You see, the system works, guys. The system works. Anyway, I hope you all have a good weekend. This is Royce Miller. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm outie.